Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Grush, with me is Rekla, and we have what looks to be an actually interesting match from the Quicksilver for once.
I'd say, oh yeah. Thought you were going to say the other match wasn't interesting, but I'd say the 2 versus 2 was pretty good.
I thought it was interesting. I tried to make it that way at least. Gotta fix my prompt.
All right. We are about 1 minute till, no, 15 seconds. So this should be coming up quick. And I do just want to note that Galaglass just fell out of 3rd place. So if KCS wins this, then the points for and for against are going to put them in 3rd. And the match has started up.
So just to go over real quick, we do have Atheran, Lactan, Sjovar, and Ellminaidra for Quicksilver, which is pretty much Team Human plus the beast that is Lactan.
Oh yeah. And one thing I found not questionable, but just a little interesting is that KCS fielded Slann and Lactan has that leech technique against Spicali, so that might be a little irritating. But it looks like they're already doing pretty good damage on him. Grendel took a weaken, but that's not going to do that much by itself. Lactan just took a dispel.
It depends on whether or not he's compensating for his strength. If it drops him even below 92 strength, that's a big deal because that drops you like 8 points of damage.
I see. I'm willing to bet that he is. I think that as a troll, you're probably going to do that just so you can keep, piling through like a juggernaut, But Lactan is looking very spellbait already. He's taking a lot of dispels, and they are getting that damage on him. Merilith is doing the burst with cause fat very intelligently.
Yeah, they're just going straight for the damage on him, trying to...
Well, they know that Lactan is... Yeah, they know that Lactan is going to have the most defensive output, so it's smart to focus on him.
And,
they may go for a cap. It looks like Shawn is already going to the cap room, so they're going to try to do this quickly.
It'll be interesting to see if Grendel gets no-eyes here. I mean, that usually puts a damper in your ability to focus people, at least.
Oh, this is going to hurt. Dispel with the troll on him. Grendel just doing this crazy damage to Lactan. Here's the thing, you're Lactan, you're one of the strongest melee characters in the game, but you're still not going to do that well against a troll barb,
Yeah, nobody does well against a troll barb.
That's top of the food chain as far as melee goes.
But yeah, the just raw damage output from Grendel, time and again, is proving to be insane. And it's much better than what I can put out, to be honest, which is why I think he gets away with dual wielding a lot more than I do.
Probably, Troll's going to hit a little bit more than Giant Ogre, I think, just because of that dex.
Yeah, I mean, you have twice the dex that Giant Ogre does. That makes a big difference.
Dispel with control on him again, and there's a round. That round's going to kill him.
Going down.
Or he can't have much health left, at least. I mean, he's going to be a non-factor.
Well, he does wimpy, but... Wow. And he does have a lot of healing, so if he gets ignored for a little while, he could come back in this. Sjovar's going down now. He's obviously a secondary target.
And it doesn't even matter, if Lactan flees away and Grendel's just going to hit the next person, and it's just not fun. It's like having a building fall on you. And there's the first toast of the match.
So Sjovar goes down. Shark's looking pretty solid right now.
Okay. It looks like the opposite flag room for KCS is actually blue, so maybe Shawn will cap now. Yeah, there it is.
And he does. Grendel is what I wish I could be in ACFL.
It has its weaknesses. It's going to do really well against melee comps. Like, I think KCS has a better chance against Brutes. I think Hydra has a better chance against Stars. Just because Brutes is kind of an anti-melee composition, but even so, KCS has all this hitting power, and with an assassin now, they might be able to get something going against brutes. But I don't think that KCS, for example, with Grendel being fielded, would do anything against stars. I think they're going to get cast all over.
And
Grendel getting these huge power swings off on Lactan. Lactan probably going to die soon.
Especially if he keeps getting dispelled like that. Jesus.
Yeah, that power swing off the dispel, for example, is just like 200 damage instantly. You know.
It's, I mean, not quite that much, but it is a hefty
chunk.
chunk.
It's 100 plus at least. Atheran taking a weekend.
Yeah, 100 to 125.
Yep.
So it's a lot of damage, and that's not even counting the melees that came through on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Lactan has been doing a pretty good job of staying alive despite the pain he's taking, though.
It's true, but they've basically set out to do. They wanted to make him inefficient, and they've done that. He's on the run, so he's not going to do anything.
Even if he's not dead, like you said, he is off trying to heal himself.
Yeah, and meanwhile, KCS is getting these caps, and they have looked really good this matchup.
To be honest, they've looked really, really good ever since the trade. I think they've performed very well in every match since then.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow is going to be a really good match set. I think Brutes against Card Sharks, Hydra against Stars, we're going to see some good matches. I think KCS's strategy at this point should be able to lock in this match. They're briefly in third place. If they were able to beat Brutes somehow, then they lock that 3 seed, and then they have shown they can beat one of the top 2 teams.
Well, if they were to beat Brutes, then I might have to rethink my trading strategy. But
I mean, I'm just saying that's their plan. That's what they want to do. They're more likely to beat Brutes than Stars, in my opinion, because KCS is a little better equipped to handle Brutes than they are Stars.
They did 2-3 against the Stars. Not the Stars' main lineup, but still, if you miss one of your guys.
That's true, yeah. All it takes is somebody not showing up that night, and you can make it close.
Power swing is just such a beautiful skill. I'm going to miss it. There's really nothing quite like it.
I think Armsman will be fun too, though.
The choke is so fun. So fun. I'm not a big fan of the rest of the skills, to be honest, but choke is fun. Yeah. You just get to... It's got to be frustrating to face. I
also, Armsman can yank at least two Dracos this ACFL season, so it doesn't hurt.
Tell you one interesting thing I found out, though. Choke.
Mm-hmm.
If you try and choke somebody that's mounted, it tells you you're not big enough to choke them when they're riding. Which I don't understand. If the biggest
that's super
race
strange
in the game isn't big enough to do it, why is it
in there? You'd think John Ogre might be at least head-to-head with a Draco, Even within fantasy logic, if you sit and start visualizing all the mechanics.
And I mean, even if I wasn't head-to-head with the Draco, I've got 2 whips. I use one, grab it, pull myself up, and then I can reach, right?
Yeah, we may as well just start role-playing at this point. I think the match is taken care of.
Yeah, Grendel's running the flag now. I guess he figures anybody that wants to come after him has to deal with T-Swing, and that's not a good thing to
Proverbial come at me, bro. Yeah.
A bunch of human hitters, or a bunch of humans, and then, Lactan, who's already injured, trying to get through troll defenses and T-Swing damage. Not gonna happen. But even if you got, dispelled or whatever, you can't actually get any melee damage through the defenses, so it's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. And what's happened traditionally is KCS has actually been casted on more than they've cast, but it looks like, I don't know if Merilith is still imbued, but at the very least, he has opened with a lot of successful casting on Lactan, and that's sort of put Quicksilver on the ropes already.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you saw just in the last match, you know, I don't even have as good a defense as Grendel does because of the lower decks, but I was carrying the flag, Bardock was on me just spamming dispels while Berg was attacking me, and it didn't matter. There was no...
Yeah, I saw the
damage to back it
spam
up.
off. Yeah, it's true. You know, you're not getting that much across. But, you know, when Lactan takes a dispel, then Troll Barb can definitely get some across. It's just no fun at all, man. Atheran getting tripped off steed kills. Yeah, that was pretty quick. Pretty good execution by KCS. I think Roots have a match ahead of them.
Yeah, things are definitely coming together pretty well for Card Sharks.
Yeah. Now I think Brutes will probably win it, but I think they need to show up with their A team tomorrow.
I definitely do think I definitely agree with that. We can't slouch in our roster against them. But I mean, that's a pretty scary lineup right there. Grendel, Slann, Merilith, and then Shawn or whoever else.
Yeah, and you know, we were curious about how Slann was going to perform, but so far he's the last two matches he's looked good.
I think, you know, he's proving to be exactly what Card Sharks needed. Since the
well, Card Sharks were lacking utility. You know, they had Merilith with imbue, so they had some pretty good casting. Grendel is just kind of a bulwark that plows through stuff. Okay, like even as well played as he's going to be, Troll Barb is just kind of pure damage output. But now with Slann, they can actually make something of the utility that they have in that trade.
And the you know, the flash helps protect Grendel a fair bit.
Mm-hmm. Sure do. And this match, I think, if I'm not mistaken, puts KCS at 3rd place.
Let's take
so
a
if
look
they
at
can
that.
get some, if they can get something going off that, that's good. And Galaglass is finally going to get dethroned. They were looking pretty good at first. I think the first couple weeks they were at a 3-0 score, and then they've sort of taken a lot of losses in a row.
Okay, so let's look at this. After tonight's matches, we got Roots went up to 7-2. Galaglass went to 4-6, which automatically drops them below Sharks and Hydra, who are now both at 4-5. And Sharks has more points for and fewer points against than Hydra, so that does bump Sharks into 3rd place.
Okay, there you go. So now Sharks need to do something with that. They've got 2 tough matches ahead of them. You know, they lost the last Hydra match. So, I mean, what they need to be doing is they need to get their A team to show up tomorrow. They need to strategize and beat Brutes. You know, that should be their plan at least. And then they should beat Hydra off that on Thursday. And they can lock that 3rd place seed in.
Yeah, and I'll be very interested to see what they bring against us tomorrow. I mean, if you look at their roster, I mean, I probably shouldn't talk too much about what I think they're going to do. But,
yeah, you want to win.
But still, I mean, some of it's not going to be a surprise, right? Like, they're going to run Merilith, and they're going to run Slann. That's like 100%.
I think they'll run Grendel too. I don't think Brutes have, you know, like when you think of Brutes as a team, you don't think hard int spellcasters.
That's
so I
true.
think Grendel they'll probably field.
We have a very full, fleshed out team, but that's definitely the one area we're weak, which is, you know, really strong casters.
Mm-hmm. But what I will say for Brutes is, you know, they do well against other melee teams because they have a couple of sort of anti-melee-ish counters. You know, Aradic does really well against melee with Weapon Toss, with Screech. If you don't have your game on, like if you don't make plans, then that Screech can mess you up. You know, if you're not perfectly synergized like Stars, for example, then that Deafen can kind of leave you disoriented. But we won't talk too much about it. We'll just see what happens tomorrow. But I think the 2 matches coming up will be very good, and everybody should show up.
Definitely. Tomorrow night is the night of the week to see. I
Yeah.
think, well, tomorrow night is going to have two very interesting matches, and then, let's see, Thursday, Card Sharks versus Hydra. That should be a really good one as well. That's going to help give us a better look at who's going to fall into that third place position at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday, wow, really, this entire week is going to be very important. Sunday, then we've got Roots and Stars, and that should be a good match. Top two teams duking it out
Yeah.
for position.
And I think I think we're coming up close to the halfway mark. So at this point, you want to show up, and you want, like, especially for that third place seed, these people need to cut out something now. Like, you need to carve out whatever you're going to carve out, whether it's wins or losses. Whoever shows up at the end of the week at third place, I think that's going to be an important indicator of what happens for the rest of the season.
Also important to note is, as you mentioned, it's the halfway point coming up, and originally that would have been today, would have been the 30th match, but because
Mm-hmm.
this past Sunday's games got rescheduled, the actual 30th match is going to be tomorrow night, and that is the cutoff point for pickups, trades, and all of that business. So if anybody's going to make another move, if Quicksilver wanted to drop some of their people that aren't showing up, they have to do it now.
Yeah, pick up a certain battle rager, maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's showing up, then it's better than what they've been rolling with so far.
Yeah, although I'd like to just see Lactan and Perithian. They've both showed up, but on different nights most of the time. I think they've only been together once, and I'd like to see them show up together and see if they can get some burst damage off.
Bring back that old synergy.
Yeah, at least half of it.
But yeah, I mean, Roots and Sharks, Hydra Stars, or no, not that one. Sharks and Hydra, Roots and Stars, Hydra Galaglast. This is an important week, so stay tuned. Make sure you're here for the matches, because these are the ones that matter.
Yeah, and there's going to be a great match practically every day, all the way until Sunday. At the very least, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. These are going to be nights that you want to sit down and get you a drink and watch them.
All right, well, let's see. It's going to be an awkward streaming night tomorrow, but hopefully,
If you want to, yeah, broadcast the second one if nothing else.
so we'll broadcast that second one for sure. The first one, there's no telling. Most likely that one will have to be done from replay. Thursday night should be cast. Sunday night, again, half the night will get cast. I will not be streaming for Roots and Stars. But that's about it for tonight, folks. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good night.
Good games.